Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Last week was dedicated to Patreon-sponsored videos, but now we're back on track to finish our Final Fantasy content. Yes, it's a grind that takes a long time. Haven't you ever played a Final Fantasy game before? Leading today's deck is the father of Titus, Jecht, Reluctant Guardian. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Jecht, Reluctant Guardian is a 4-mana, 4/3 legendary human warrior with Menace. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, we may exile him, then return him transformed under his owner's control. Transformed, Jecht becomes Braska's Final Aeon, a 7/7 summon. Summons are a new creature type from the Final Fantasy set. They are Enchantment Saga creatures. Remember, we're exiling Jecht before putting him onto the battlefield transformed, so he does trigger the Saga's first lore counter. Both the first and second lore counter force our opponents to discard a card while we draw a card. The third one says that each opponent sacrifices 2 creatures of their choice. Final Fantasy X is a tragedy. It is the story of a world ruined by war. A giant kaiju appears every few years, destroying everything in its path, and a summoner goes on a pilgrimage to gather the Aeons. Once they complete their journey, Sin, the aforementioned kaiju, is sealed away. For a time. Until he comes back and the cycle begins again. Rebirth and sacrifice. And they say video games are for children. Now, I wanted this deck to be mostly budget, and we are $150, but there were too many good cards in the $7 to $10 range to pass up. So this deck is not under $100. Now, I've gotten comments on videos in the past saying that $100 isn't a budget deck. Budget is whatever you decide it is, and I, along with most of the Commander community, has decided that $100 is a fair number for a budget deck. I mean, even Mitch over at Commander's Quarters has given up trying to make $25 decks with how expensive everything is these days. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. One of my favorite products Ultimate Guard has is their Xenoskin Sidewinder. The Sidewinder has a soft microfiber lining as well as the rugged Xenoskin shell we've all come to love. While the Sidewinder isn't a new product, they are now available in the beautiful two-tone Synergy series, like this red-white one seen here. Find it if your local game store carries Ultimate Guard products, or click the link down below to order yourself one from Amazon. In order to build a functional Commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm currently streaming over on Gaming with Danon as well as Twitch. It'll mostly be Final Fantasy XIV, but you're more than welcome to pop in and talk about Commander. Honestly, about half my streams are talking about manga, anime, or Commander. For utility lands, we've got War Room for card draw, Rogue's Passage to sneak in and deal some damage, Myriad Landscape for ramp, and Bajuka Bog for graveyard hate. Oh, and 32 Swamps to help cast our spells. Nothing too fancy or expensive here. Our mana ramp consists of Fane the Broker, who is very thematic for this deck, followed by Jet Medallion, and the Darkness Crystal. Both of these offer cost reduction. Dark Ritual serves as our only ritual, and Cryptghast serves as our only mana doubler. Yes, Cryptghast has a mono-black color identity. The Orzhov symbol is in the reminder text and isn't part of the official text on the card. Solemn Simulacrum helps us with land ramp. Meanwhile, our mana rocks consist of Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Charcoal Diamond, Mind Stone, Felwar Stone, Thrawn Dynamo, mostly staples, but we do have some thematic ramp, which I always like. For card advantage, we're running Geth's Grimoire and Tiny Bones Bauble Burglar, both of which tie in with what our deck is trying to do. What's that? Of course we're trying to make people discard cards. Didn't you listen when I was explaining the Commander? For consistent card draw, we've got Seymour Flux, Summon Anima, Phyrexian Arena, Twilight Prophet, and Dark Confidant. For burst damage, we're running Siphon Mind, Night's Whisper, Sign in Blood, and Read the Bones. Finally, for some mass reanimation, we've got Rise of the Dark Realms. Didn't have the budget for tutors, but also we're not really a combo deck, so I'd rather just draw a bunch of cards and figure it out from there. For interaction and spot removal, we're running Summon Primal Odin, Heartless Act, Feed the Swarm, Plague Crafter, Overkill, Withering Torment, The Eldest Reborn, and Hero's Downfall. Our discard package consists of Hectize, Yarok's Fenlurker, Malboro, Elderfang Disciple, Burglar Rat, and Turok Dread Cantor. Finally, some extra graveyard hate in Deuthi Voidwalker and Bogart Trawler. Wanted to keep those reanimation players in line. Our board wipes consist of Toxic Deluge and Blasphemous Edict. Simple and powerful. The core of our deck consists of Waste Not, Felspectre, Megrim, Liliana's Caress, Raider's Wake, and Painful Quandary. To help bring our commander back over and over again, we've got Feign Death, Not Dead After All, Undying Malice, Supernatural Stamina, and Fake Your Own Death. For additional protection, we're running Swiftfoot Boots and Lightning Greaves. Finally, for fun with counters, we've got Hex Parasite, Thrall Parasite, Power Conduit, Vampire Hexmage, Pharopede, Etched Slith, and Aether Snap. With these, we can keep our sagas out as long as we want. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 50 mana sources split between 36 lands, 13 pieces of ramp, and 1 MDFC. Right on target. 13 pieces of card advantage, counting our commander. 16 pieces of interaction. 3 board wipes. 3 pieces of graveyard hate in Deuthi Voidwalker, Bogart Trawler, and Bajuka Bog. 1 Sudden I Win card in Rise of the Dark Realms. The idea behind this deck is to transform Jecht, then swing out every turn with a big scary 7/7. We continuously force our opponents to discard by removing counters from Vraska's Final Aeon, which means we have a 7/7 commander, our opponents have fewer cards in hand, and we can just beat them to death. We have enough protection to keep our commander on board and swinging out every turn, and enough shenanigans to make every discard hurt. What a fun deck to play with your opponents. Do you have a Jecht Reluctant Guardian commander deck? What about a deck led by one of the other legendary creatures from the Final Fantasy set? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. You can have a video made or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons. Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alix, Borgie, Congo, Robert, Pye, Kazaris, Patrick, Tiz, Art, Richard, Sint, Boomy, Osor, Justin, Golden Walker, Captain Hammer, Yori, Sleech, Zach, Mr. Salty, and Hua. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.